What's up, guys? This is your host for Fantasy Footballers, and welcome to the Monday Night Showdown, where two undefeated teams will battle it out for supremacy in the league. That means all the other teams have now been eliminated from contention, and we are just here for entertainment purposes. The matchup tonight will be between the four NFC South champion Flock and the AFC East champion DSE. The Flock enters the contest riding high off of their last-second victory over the Vikings, where they won by a score of 27-24, while the Dogs barely squeaked out a win against the Bears, winning by a score of 23-20. With that being said, let's get into my three favorite prop bets for this showdown. Before we get into the props, I need you to smash that like button. It genuinely helps us out so much and is completely free. So if you could do that, that would be great. Let's get into the show. First prop bet I want to look at is going to be Justin Fields over 21.5 rushing yards. And I think this is a great bet. This season, Justin Fields has found himself running the ball more and more. In fact, in the past 4 games, he's rushed the ball 59 times for 286 yards and 2 touchdowns. Fields has also been running the ball more than any other quarterback in this league. For example, Lamar Jackson ranks second with 135 rushing attempts, while Fields has 184 rushing attempts. To put that into perspective, that means Fields has attempted almost double the amount of rushes as the second-place quarterback. With him getting so many carries, I am shocked that his rushing prop isn't higher. But I know the Bears aren't expected to do much offensively against this tough Falcons defense. However, I still think Fields can find some success on the ground given how poor the Falcons' run defense is. Atlanta gives up 146.4 rushing yards per game, which ranks them 31st in the NFL. To make matters worse, they're going to be without their best defensive player in Grady Jarrett. He is questionable with a knee injury and hasn't practiced all week. Plus, even if he does play, he'll likely be limited. So I think Justin Fields will have no problem exceeding this 21.5 rushing yard prop. Now, moving to the receiving side of things. I love the under 8.5 receptions for Drake London. The reason why I like this prop is because London has struggled as of late. In his past 5 games, he has only caught 21 passes for 258 yards and 3 touchdowns. When looking deeper into those numbers, you see that in 2 of those games, he left early due to injuries. And in the other 3 games, he only averaged 3.7 receptions and 46 receiving yards. Also, you might remember that in Week 15, London played the Bears and had one of his worst games of the season. He only caught 3 of 8 targets for 27 yards. With this being the second matchup between these two teams in a short period of time, I think we could see a similar result where Chicago focuses on taking away London. They did this successfully last time, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be able to do it again. Lastly, I think the Falcons will try and establish the run a lot more this game. Since they have the advantage on the offensive line, if they have success doing that, then London will see fewer targets, resulting in him not hitting this over 8.5 reception prop. My final prop bet for this showdown is going to be the over 42.5 total passing yards for Marcus Mariota. On the surface, this prop seems pretty low, but when we dig deeper, we realize why it is set so low. Marcus Mariota doesn't throw a lot of passes. In fact, he's only thrown 299 passes this year, which is less than half the amount of Lamar Jackson or Geno Smith. Secondly, the Bears are actually really good at defending the pass. They only allow 199.5 passing yards per game, which ranks them 10th in the NFL. To put that into perspective, Falcons are ranked 31st, giving up 262.3 passing yards per game. With the Bears' strength being the pass defense, I think Mariota will have a difficult time throwing the ball effectively. However, I still believe that he can exceed this 42.5 passing yard prop. For the season, he's only thrown for over 42.5 yards 6 times. But there are a couple factors I'm considering. First, the Falcons will be without their top wide receiver in Drake London. And as I mentioned earlier, I think the Bears will focus on taking away Kyle Pitts as well. With London and Pitts being double-teamed for most of the game, Mariota should be forced to air the ball out a little more than usual. Plus, this game could potentially be a shootout. In their last meeting, the Bears and Falcons combined for 50 points. And both of these offenses have shown that they can put up points in bunches. For example, the Falcons are averaging 27.8 points per game over their past 6 games. and the Bears are averaging 27 points per game over their past 4 contests. So I think that if the Falcons get down by a score, Mariota will be forced to throw the ball more than he wants to, resulting in him exceeding this 42.5 passing yard prop. Now that we've covered my 3 favorite prop bets for this showdown, I want to go over my fantasy football awards. We're halfway through the season. So these awards are for weeks 1 through 8. The first award goes to Nick Chubb for week 8, and this is our highest scoring fantasy football week of the season. Nick Chubb was absolutely insane, rushing for 152 yards and 3 touchdowns on 22 carries. Not only did he put up huge numbers for fantasy, but he led his team to a much-needed victory against the Ravens. As a result, he earns the highest score of the week and the accompanying trophy. The next award goes to Mr. Consistent, our very own Jeff Apter. For those of you who don't know, Jeff is in the process of going undefeated in every single season in the history of our league. This year is no different. Jeff is currently 8-0 and looks poised to make another deep playoff run. For his efforts, he earns the trophy for the 2nd straight week. And finally, the last award goes to Yamo. Unfortunately, he just barely misses out on earning the coveted Cal Drysdale. Just like Jeff, Yamo is also 8-0, so his claim to the award is just as strong. However, Jeff has beaten Yamo head-to-head in Week 8, which is our tiebreaker. So unfortunately, Yamo, you miss out. You were the best record holder for the longest time, and I knew eventually someone was going to catch up to you. I hope you enjoyed the award, man. Alright guys, that is going to do it for me, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these props as much as I did, and if you did, please smash that like button. It really helps us out. Also, make sure to check out our new page, link in the description below. We would love it if you followed us on social media. But as always, this is your host for Fantasy Footballers, and I will see you guys next week for more fantasy football content.